100% footy Monday night. Some interesting points were raised. Gus has been talking for quite some time about the NRL's thought bubble plan to look at acquiring the English Super League. He and Gal had a little debate, if you will, on 100% footy on Monday night.
The best players from the UK sort of make their way to Australia anyway. I think we should be shoring up our own shores here, putting some money back into grassroots footy. I know we had 2 years of COVID. Let me tell you this year, I know for a fact, Junior League this year, in my area anyway, I've played about 4 or 5 games. The grounds are terrible. You know, put some money back into grassroots footy, build some grounds that have drainage so kids can play week in, week out. Put some money back into country rugby league. Like, where's country rugby league at the moment? How's that going? From all reports, it's not going too well. I'll be putting money back into country rugby league. We've seen so many good players come from the country. Let's give some money back to them.
Before we go any further, Gal, about junior footy and sport being washed out is 1,000,000,000% right. It is a farce. A farce.
That's council.
Mate, I know that.
league.
So councils, stop. The ground is there. You can fix the turf. The kids should be allowed to play their sport. Stop being so bloody pedantic.
Every sport is missing out.
Every
It's
sport.
not rugby league. That's councils.
But this is exactly. I agree with you. Let them play on the bloody field and fix it.
Totally
Over to you.
agree. The one thing where Gal is wrong is we're about to hit the number that's never been hit before. There's more junior players through club rugby league than ever before.
That's great.
You know, we like to send this sort of message up that footy's just falling over and country footy's been neglected incredibly. At the moment, we're about to announce that the game has more participants than it's ever had. So, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We need to grow on that. We need to work out ways to grow on that. We need our systems better. We've got touch and tag, which is so strong for our game, not just for girls coming through, but young fellas coming through. Joey talks about, weight for age. We're getting that right. So, we're not far from getting it. We need people to get together. We need the clubs and the NRL to work together in New South Wales Rugby League and Queensland Rugby League. But all in all, we're in a pretty good space, and it's councils that need to.
Mate, it is a disgrace. It is an absolute disgrace. Regardless of how many numbers you can develop or encourage to play in a particular sport, if you can't get on the field because the council's closing the ground, then what is the point? What about this whole English Super League idea? To unify the game, and then that would have flow-on effects to the international game.
England played France in a test match last week, and I'm not exaggerating, it looked like there was 500 people there. Maybe not.
Well, that's
even
so sad.
And it wasn't shown anywhere. You had to stream it on the computer somewhere or something like that.
You didn't have a computer, so you wouldn't be able to...
No, I haven't got a computer and don't want one. Super League, they need all the help they can get over there because rugby union is so strong in the Northern Hemisphere, especially in England and France and Ireland and Wales and these places. I've spoke to the Knights a few times about having some sort of relationship with Warrington, where, for instance, at the moment, Fletcher Sharp shot the lights out. Should be playing NRL, should be playing that standard. Caitlin comes back, we say, righto, Warrington, have you got any injuries? You have a fullback. Fletcher Sharp goes to England. Now, God forbid if there's an injury to KP for Caitlin, then he comes back. But I think it should be open where we can trade players between clubs. And if they did own that, also more exposure. But... something needs to be done.
If you look at the athletes that have come over, it's producing some athletes.
England.
Look at Dominic Young, you look at Will Price, like Elliot Whitehead, Smithies. Like, these are blokes, they're footballers.
Yeah.
They're holding their own well and truly in the NRL.
Mate, the footy over there is so good. It is so good. They just need some help promoting it and getting more eyes on it.
If the NRL was the, overseeing body, for instance, that could go a long way towards trying to shore up the international schedule. Now, are we playing Test footy at the end of this year? Does anyone know?
Yeah, the Pacific Cup.
The same as last
Nations,
year?
Yep.
Okay. So
I'll tell you what they got to do.
That only came to fruition late in the season last year.
If they want to help the England game, then do a kangaroo tour. Again,
you can't, mate. It's not a problem because they're playing in different times. We used to go and play over there at the end of the year because that's when they were playing their season.
You go over and you say to the clubs, so the top 4 clubs, St Helens, Wigan, Warrington, whoever, they get towards the end of the season, the Kangaroos go, you could play with their scheduling where their grand final finishes a week after ours or 2 weeks after ours, then the Aussies go over and they play test matches and then club games on the Wednesday.
No,
They
but-
don't even need to play through.
But when's the last time an England team toured Australia?
Well, correct.
If you had a formalised international schedule, these things could start to happen again.
Well, same thing. They come out here, you tweak the schedule, they come out here and they play 3 tests, but they play against 3 clubs. So they play Newcastle, they'd sell it out. They play the Cowboys, they'd sell it out. Where else?
What about a
In
tri-series?
the old days-
What about New Zealand
So
involved
in
as
the
well?
old days, they used to play midweek. So clubs would
Yeah.
play England midweek. Like, that's just
Damn
not
yes.
happening. That's just not happening.
Why?
Anymore. Well, the clubs wouldn't allow it. There's no benefit to the club. Like you,
What do you mean, the English
imagine
club?
you imagine Adam O'Brien if they said, righto, this week you need to play.
Okay,
You need to play England on Wednesday.
What about this? Instead of taking an EMU team away,